believe. Christians, and I'm talking about today's Christians and today's Jews, they don't believe in the way we believe in Allah Jalla wa Ala. So in here, they were going to the hellfire. They were going to the hellfire. So being that the sins of Muslims being taken and put on them, that changed nothing. They were already going to there. However, this hadith, there is what we call it, as I say to you, there is something in the hadith which makes it actually. Let me just get my recollection on it. That this hadith is. Marasil, min al-marasil. There is a name for this hadith in the science of hadith that we call it mursal hadith. A mursal hadith, according to Imam Muslim rahmatullahi alayh, is a da'if hadith. So your hadith that you quoted is from Muslim, and I believe, if my memory serves me right, the following hadith actually refute what is being said. So in general, as I said, each believer, each person, regardless believer or disbeliever, they have got a place in Jannah and a place in the hellfire. If the person does good deeds, they will go to their station in Jannah, and someone else that had the station in Jannah but he did bad deeds, he will go to their station in the hellfire. That's like to sum it up for you. However, it doesn't, if there is a religion actually which swaps sins for atonement, that's your religion.
Yeah. That's why I was bringing it up, because I felt like it almost seemed to be mimicking or mirroring.
No, it's not mimicking.
A Christian doctrine.
It's not mimicking, because as I explained to you, there is a station in the hellfire and a station in Jannah. For you, for me, for everyone. Okay? Now, I do bad deeds. I don't go to my station in Jannah. I go to a station in the hellfire. Okay? You do good. You don't go to your station in the hellfire. You go to your station in Jannah. And now, as I say to you, this hadith, and if you look into the science of hadith, you'll find that this hadith is a mursal hadith. A mursal hadith is a da'if hadith, according to our science of.
Wasn't it in Sahih Muslim?
It's not everything that is in Sahih Muslim. Muslim will say a hadith, yeah? But we have also, for example, we have also certain ahadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, which Imam al-Bukhari has said them. But he has said them just to show that this, for us when we say a hadith, to be authentic, it has got to have certain criteria. Now, even Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, when they brought this hadith, they spoke about it, that it is not. So they mentioned it in their book, but it's not a Sahih hadith according to their criteria of Sahih.
Okay.
For example, we have got Mutaba'at al-Zuhri. And for you to answer this hadith, you go to Imam al-Nawawi rahmatullahi alayh, and his exegesis on the hadith, you will have it better, inshallah.
So this one here, the 2767D. Would you say this is? You're saying it's da'if, it's weak.
You said ba or D?
We're saying this is da'if.
See, I can only read if the writing is this big,
Okay. Like, so Sahih Muslim 2767D, the one that says about the Muslims with their sins as high as mountains. So are you saying that's not Sahih?
So in other words,
so you see in here, Read it in English. Read it in English.
Okay. There would come people amongst the Muslims on the day of resurrection with as heavy sins as a mountain.
Yeah.
And Allah would forgive them, and He would place in their stead, or place,
Yeah.
the Jews and the Christians. And then also, no Muslim would die, but Allah would admit in His stead.
No. Continue with the hadith, please.
Yeah, this is the still
Yeah.
Sahih Muslim. It's the same.
No. I want you to continue with the hadith.
With the about mountains.
Yes, that's continue. Don't jump to another hadith without telling me that you jumped to another hadith.
Yeah, I did open another.
No. You see, this is. If you do this again, I'll walk away. Either you read from the same hadith, but don't culminate to a hadith. I know my hadith, so don't do that again to me, yeah?
No.
No, you're reading from two different hadith and you're trying to pass them as one hadith. You shouldn't do that.
I've got 3 on the same one.
Yeah, but look, Mansur, if someone is reading one hadith and then they to reach a point and they jump to another hadith and link it between them, yeah, and then thinking that he can outdo me in hadith. Hang on. This is deceiving. What do you think, Mansur? Shall I walk away, Mansur?
If you feel a deception is being made, you should not even continue with it.
Just stick with my hadith.
Okay.
You shouldn't done that. I was really treating you with respect. No. I was treating you with respect. You never say to me, Mansur, he never said, I am actually moving into a different hadith, and this is the deception of the evangelicals. They do this thing. Sorry. I'm speaking to my brother, yeah?
When you clearly see evidence of deception,
he's
not apologizing for it.
I'm sorry.
You should end that conversation.
Can I go to another hadith, which is on the same
Mansur,
topic?
come this way, please, Mansur.
You know what?
I tell you what, I'm not going to continue. My brother will continue. If you need me, I am here, but I'm not willing to continue with this gentleman.
In fact, the question which is most important between a Christian and a Muslim is in the concept of God or in the concept of man. Our prime difference between Islam and Christianity is it in the concept of God or in the concept of man?
Understanding of man and God.
The differences that we have between our religious teachings is the prime difference in the concept of God or in the concept of man.
There are lots of differences.
Prime. Where do you get that from?
Where do I get it?
Okay, what is human being to you and what is God to you? Who deserves our utmost importance first in terms of priority and order?
You accuse me of deception.
No. I am not going to talk to you about this because I wasn't even in any intention to talk to you about this. The reason I started with this, hang on. Listen, I am saying the most important discussion to take place between Muslims and Christians should start from where? In the concept of God or concept of man?
Concept of God.
Concept of God. Right. So let's deal with that then. Let's deal with that.
You're now jumping topic and you're not talking.
I am jumping topic because that's the most important thing to discuss between Muslim and Christians.
Well, me and my friend were doing a video about this specific hadith. So if
Yeah,
you
but
want to
until you
answer it-
deceived me.
Look.
Until you deceived me.
Until you deceived them.
Until you deceived me. Do you admit that you deceived me?
I opened another tab.
No.
When I said I'm
You
going to
were
another
reading.
Just
You never
open up and say, I'm sorry,
just make-
I did this without realizing that it was a deception. Don't admit it. Be a man and admit your mistake.
I wasn't deceiving anyone. I opened another
Be a
tab.
man enough, admit your
never
mistake.
said that he never told me. Hang on, by the way, he didn't. He was when he reached the mountains of Tuhama, he stopped there. Then he went to a second hadith, thinking that I don't know my hadith. And I say to him
You
already.
caught him red-handed.
Yes, I say to him already, if you come to Muslim, the exegesis of Imam al-Nawawi, I am a student of the hadith of Imam al-Nawawi, so I know my hadith.
Yeah.
And then he didn't apologize.
And that's
He
why you
continued
gave.
still defending.
That's why you asked me to come in and talk to him.
Yes,
And what's your name? What's your name?
No Muslim would die,
Hello?
but Allah would admit in his stead.
What's your name?
Christian in hellfire.
What's your name?
I did.
Oliver.
What's your
What I am saying, my name is Mansur.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. The most important discussion to take place between Muslims and Christians is not about, can you explain this biblical verse to me? Can you explain this hadith to me? Can you explain this Quran to me? Can you explain? No. God.
I came up and asked
Do
him
you?
about this.
Wait. I'm now going to come and ask you this question. I've changed the topic altogether.
I don't want to do this conversation.
Why are you so scared to talk about the most important discussion to have between Muslims and Christians? Why are you so
I
scared?
think this is important.
No, this is not the most important.
I think it's very
The most important thing. What did Jesus say? The first commandment is what? Know that human beings are all about God.
He said the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind,
So it's about God. This is the second, but anyway, it's about God. So now, do you think the one who we should worship should be worthy of our worship?
Of course.
Right. So anyone who's not worthy of our worship, can you call this being God?
No.
Like a tripod?
No.
No.
Good. Do you consider Jesus worthy of our worship?
Yes.
Right. So you consider Jesus to be worthy of worship, and he's able to be called God, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are the most essential attributes of God to be worthy of worship? Does he have to be self-sufficient, independent, and absolute, or does he not have to be?
I mean, I think God is uncreated and eternal.
I didn't use the word uncreated.
And I believe
So let me rephrase my question.
Rephrase it.
For any human beings to worship anyone and take that thing as God,
Yes.
they or it must possess certain attributes of qualification.
Yes.
Self-sufficiency,
Yes.
being absolute and independent.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Right. Was Jesus self-sufficient, absolute and independent?
In the context of the Godhead, he depended on the Father.
So you answered my question openly and clearly that he was dependent. Anyone who is dependent by definition is not independent. So Jesus, in your own admission, thank you very much, Oliver. You made my case very clearly that Jesus is not worthy of worship and Jesus is not God. Now, do you stand corrected in your belief?
I suppose in the same sense that my heart depends on my lungs to get oxygen around my body. But there's still one
Any
organism.
being who is not independent
Yes.
and dependent in any form, shape or way is not worthy of worship. You agreed to that already. So that's the definition that we're working on.
Yeah.
Jesus, in your own admission, you said he is dependent on someone else.
On the Father, yes.
So if he's dependent on someone else, means he is not independent of that individual or that entity or that thing or that persona or hypostasis, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
By that admission, Jesus is not God and he's not worthy of worship. So now you've learned something today. I want you to really admit that honestly, I was wrong all along to worship Jesus and call him God.
In the sense that I think he's the image of God.
Doesn't matter whether you call him image or reflection, he's not worthy of worship in any way, shape or form because he is not independent and absolute and self-sufficient.
Otherwise, we will all be worthy of worship.
Do you realize, Oliver, to refute the divinity of Jesus Christ, it only takes 30 seconds. And you go along, beat around the bush. Jesus, as you realize, not being self-sufficient, not being independent and absolute, he is not God and not worthy of worship. In fact, he himself worshipped God. God doesn't worship anyone else. God doesn't have a God and Jesus had a God. He said, I'm going to my God and your God. So, by his own admission, Jesus, you have dishonored him, disrespected him by making him into a God and worshipping him. He's free from all of that, and I think, Oliver, it's only, the right heart to say, I need to abandon calling Jesus God and worshipping him, knowing and understanding that he is not worthy of worship.
But I don't believe that God's word can be corrupted. And in the New Testament, Jesus is always worshipped. Like Thomas falls down and says, my Lord and my God, and he worships him. And Christ doesn't say, no, don't do that. He accepts worship like God. So either it's shirk
But what's
or he is
worship
God.
what's worship
Brother,
in
Sheikh, if somebody comes and starts worshipping Oliver, that would make Oliver God and worthy of worship according to your criteria.
But
Do you agree with that?
I would tell the man to get up
Wait.
and worship me.
If you didn't, imagine now someone like someone having fun, and Oliver goes on and starts worshipping, and this guy says, you are blessed, you know what, I'll give you whatever you want. Does that make that individual that you are worshipping God?
No.
Excellent. So now you refuted by your own criteria your earlier example about someone worshipping Jesus, because even if someone did worship Jesus, it doesn't make Jesus God.
Can I add just you know the word worship in Greek that is used actually. Okay, preskinio. Preskinio, it doesn't mean like worship. It means kind of, that's it. So all you go to the any word where you find worship, the correct translation is not actually worship as you understand worshiping in homage. It's like paying homage. It's like kind of like respectful. Like me when I see my granddad, when I used to see him, his dad, may Allah have mercy on his soul, I used to kiss his hand. So that's kind of, you can call that worship, kind of like, but it's not the worship that you think.
Yeah. So Jesus, of course, he called people to worship using the word worship him.
Yeah.
Thou shall you serve, pointing to one in heaven.
Yeah.
And he didn't say worship me. Instead, he says worship him.
But you did say, but you believe in God, believe also in me. Now, could I say to you, you believe in Allah, believe also in me?
Look, we're talking about whether Jesus is God or not.
Yes.
Does God have a God?
Within the Godhead, there are persons.
Does the God the Father have a God?
No, but he does. But Jesus did say, "Father, honor me or glorify me with the glory I have with you before the world was."
Who gave him the glory?
The Father.
Right.
He glorified him.
Okay. Let's really understand this. God gave him the glory. So he was gloryless before he received it. If you were gloryless at one point before you received it, were you God then? The answer is no. So if God gives you the glory, would that make you God?
I don't think God can glorify me.
Wait. If God gave you the glory, like Jesus says.
But it's a straw man, because God would never glorify a creature.
I'm answering. Jesus said, the glory that you gave me, I gave it to them. So he gave the same glory that he received to his disciples. Now, Oliver, you must worship the disciples as God, according to your own logic again. Unless you're being consistent and say, that doesn't make someone God by receiving glory. Because the disciples received the same glory God gave to Jesus. It doesn't make disciples God. It cannot make Jesus God.
Where did he glorify the disciples?
John chapter 17. Do you have a Bible? I'll show it to you.
Can I add to it?
Yeah. Does anyone have a Bible? I want to show it to him from the
but
Gospel.
Can I add something? God in the Old Testament said, my glory I share with
no one.
No one. That refutes
Contradiction.
But if Jesus is God, but a plurality of persons within God.
Plurality of persons?
Yeah.
Are you trying to teach us modalism in here?
Not modalism.
It's modalism. If you said the plurality,
Three
you say
eternal
one.
beings that have always been together in
Three
harmony.
persons, you mean? Three persons.
Yeah, sorry, three persons.
So are they co-equal?
Here.
Not in their right within the God. Just like how my liver.
Just want to show him. BibleGateway.com. It's not a Muslim website. Do you agree?
Is it King? I only read the King James though. Is that King James?
You can read any version you want.
I read King, but is that King James?
I will give you King James.
Thank you, bro.
Bible Gateway, yeah? So it's a Christian website?
Yeah, I know.
Right. So let's go and choose your version. King James. Let's find King James.
Yeah.
King James version. John 17.
Yeah.
And here is the verse in question. You want to read?
Sorry, Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am and to see my glory, the glory you have given me because you have loved me before the creation of the world.
Okay.
Righteous Father.
Hang on, maybe just a verse before that, sorry. Hang on.
That's good.
Here. Verse 22.
I've given them the glory that you gave me, that they, yeah, that's true.
So, I have given them the glory that you gave me, and he gives the reason why. That they may be one as we are one.
Yeah.
Christians comes along and says, Jesus said, I and the Father are one.
Yeah.
And then the whole Christianity believes that makes Jesus God, along with the Father. Now Jesus is saying, I am giving the same glory that will make all the disciples one with us. So how many gods? Too many to count.
But wouldn't you say he's distinguishing there between them be one, and then he's kind of putting a division as we are one? So he's saying he and the Father are one, and let them be one as we are one.
He says, just as you are one, my prayer is not them alone. I pray also for those who believe in me, that they all may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be one in us. So he is not making any distinction between his oneness with the oneness of the disciples.